Mike, I'm afraid you look like you were not up
Wait
to
a
any
minute.
good last night.
Why would that's how we're gonna start?
We're at South by.
Oh man.
You've had a hit movie.
I'm eating. The movie went great. I'm really excited. I'm eating oatmeal. Hanging out with Ira Glass in the lobby of the Driscoll Hotel.
I thought we were supposed to dress for this interview.
You mean shower? No, thank you. I've not showered. This is indie film, Ira.
Also,
Indie filmmakers don't shower. That's the difference. Studio films, they get you in a room, it's got a big shower. This is indie film.
But you gave a nice speech at the IndieWire party last night. You were.
Oh, yeah.
We've been bought out, and you made that point.
I made the joke that, I made the joke that you're bought out by TMZ, so now you'll be able to see more of Dax Shepard grocery shopping.
But, okay, yeah.
And then
I'm pro Dax Shepard, but yeah. And then
no,
I said
I'm pro Dax Shepard. What are you talking about?
Even
Do you
though,
not understand my joke? It's not anti-Dax Shepard.
It's fine.
It's making fun of TMZ.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And then I pointed out that to keep it real, IndieWire decided to now that it's been bought out for millions, tens of millions of dollars, they had to symbolize who they are. They literally had a house party. It was like being in a Richard Linklater film, but not good enough to be in a Richard. It really was in somebody's house. And,
it was a Richard Linklater film with no plot. Hold that thought. Less plot.
Okay.
On the other hand, your movie.
I love Richard Linklater.
Yes, we all do.
We're all joking
we all
because
do.
we love.
A new film with Dax Shepard.
Is he really? No. All right.
So you guys did this once before, Sleepwalk with Me, and it did really well. It was kind of amazing because no, seriously, the market is so strange, and you worked hard, and you took it around the country, and it did incredibly well.
Sleepwalk did well by virtue of Ira and I love it. Maybe unnaturally so, like we just think of it as our child. And
that sentence got kind of weird, but okay.
No, I mean we love the movie. We're not saying it's the best movie, but we love it, and we felt passionate that we wanted other people to see it.
And we promoted the hell out of it.
We just went around the country.
We toured it pretty hard, and did many screenings, and I feel like
so many. We did 30 Q&As in New York City at the IFC Center alone, opening weekend.
Yeah.
Well, this also sort of became the model for how people are promoting movies now. You kind of changed it.
I
Noticed
apologize.
that.
I know.
I apologize to every single
Apologies
person.
to every filmmaker.
It's all your fault.
The difference is, I know, and I have noticed that it's been.
Is that true?
It is true.
It's become a thing now that filmmakers are asked to travel with their movies and do Q&As and things like that to rally support. But what people don't realize, I think, is that with our Q&As,
Well, you're a professional comedian, so you would be funny.
Well, and we're lunatics. So like for a half hour,
You entertain us.
We get like audience participation, and
Yeah.
Ira ends up saying crazy things that he would never say on the radio, and people are like, "That's Ira Glass. This is crazy."
Yeah, I remember at the IFC Center we also dressed in ushers uniforms and sold
right.
popcorn,
like
and
old timey ushers uniforms.
we sold popcorn and like
we handed people popcorn. We gave out tickets ourselves. It's really like it's a circus. Like when we do our thing, it's like a circus,
and with Don't Think Twice, it's going to be even
it's going to be
more
more
so,
of that
because you'll have a whole bunch of comedians.
Well, tell
to
us
travel
about the
with.
plan. You
Well,
have a 30-city plan that you want to do, assuming that the distributor lets you do
I have
it.
this concept. This is breaking news. I have a concept. Can I say this?
Yeah, you can say whatever you want. It's your movie.
Called. When we toured the movie, I have this concept called Blu-ray extras, where during the post-mortem of the film, I show live, full-screen Blu-ray extras of my favorite stuff in the movie that's cut out, and talk through the experience of like what that day was like, and talk to the actors.
That's a good
I
idea.
haven't heard that.
Yeah. I think it's
It's
fun.
good without a film because the improvs in the film really are improvs, and so we have an unbelievable amount of footage of super funny comedians being really funny doing improvs that we just couldn't fit into the plot of the movie.
There's also like a celebrity cameo that we're not going to spoil that the scene itself is probably a minute 10, but there's like a 6-minute version that's hilarious.
Yeah.
All right, so you talk about how you put this team together. Some of them are improv people that you've worked with for a long time, and then you have some newbies in there.
So, 2 of the 6 of us are Chris Gethard and Tammy Sager, who I've improvised with at UCB Theater for a bunch of years. 2 of the best improvisers in the world.
And Tammy was the youngest person I think ever to be on Second City's main stage.
Yep.
And Chris is just they're both
Chris has
just
been in
amazing.
ASCAT, which is the main UCB show, for over a decade, and is just a ringer. And in some ways, I'm only saying this because he said it on stage the other night, in some ways lived a bit of what the characters live in the movie, which is to say, he's on the verge of like writing for SNL, on the verge of being cast on SNL for like many years, because he was just a known entity in comedy.
Yeah.
Didn't happen that way.
And watched friends of his.
Yeah, watched friends of his get it and all that kind of stuff, and then he ended up he has a great acting career, and he actually just shot a thing in Ghostbusters with the Paul Feig's Ghostbusters.
Wow. Yeah.
He was in Paul Feig's previous movie, The Heat.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then he has the Chris Gethard show, which is a hilarious, insane talk show.
Television show.
So those 2, that's how Tammy and Chris came on, and then with Keegan Michael Key, it was my wife and I just love Key and Peele, and I was just like, I wonder if he would do this. Seems like a good fit. Like, he's such a good actor.
What is challenging about his role?
What's challenging about Jack's role is that he has to be. Excuse me.
He's the most ambitious.
He's
the most overtly ambitious. So you have to be overtly ambitious, but also
a romantic lead.
Also romantic lead, but also you have to do it in a way where if you're an ambitious person, to do it in a way where the audience doesn't hate you.
Exactly.
And he stays super vulnerable. And
He
super
does.
likable. Partly aided by like you wrote scenes where you see him get beaten on too, so it's easy to make him seem vulnerable. But then he plays the fuck out of those scenes. He's so good. And and then there's Gillian, who'd never done improv.
Gillian, who was recommended to me by Lena Dunham, and Lena, because she had read the script, and she was like, Gillian Jacobs should play this part, and I studiously watched like all of her stuff, and I was like, she's a great actress, she's brilliant, but I've never seen her play like something like this. And Lena said one of the most prophetic things that was said in the process. She said, Gillian Jacobs can do anything. I was like, all right. She put herself on tape. Her boyfriend filmed her doing some of the scenes. I was like, whoa. I watched it probably 9 or 10 times. I couldn't believe how good it was.
And then when she did improv, she'd never done improv before. And I have to say, like, some of my favorite moments in the movie are Gillian busting out these lines that she's making up. And then you watch Gethard, who's been doing improv for like 20 years, just staring at her like, what's happening, newbie? Like the look on his face is saying like so much for those of us who know what's going on, because Gillian is crushing it. And and completely and because we know what's in the script, like she's totally making up huge sections of what she's doing, and like it's so sweet to see.
So it's part written, part improv, structured in a certain way.
I mean,
well, the scripts, the scenes, the acted scenes are acted, but when they're on stage doing improv, there's a lot of improv.
And also scripted improv.
Yeah,
Because
we have to hit plot points.
Yeah, exactly.
So you got some advice from someone about how important it was to shoot improv in a particular
I was
way?
saying this on stage the other night in one of our readings. Ira and I and my wife Jen would have a bunch of readings at my house, and
Many readings.
many readings. We had like probably 10. And Frank Oz, you pointed out, came to one of them.
It was a weird,
Played Bill's dad.
Yeah.
in one of them. It was excellent.
I
Ira
totally
goes,
had
Ira
this
didn't know it was
moment.
Frank
It's like, because at every reading there'd be different actors like reading the script, and there's this older man is sitting on the couch, and Mike's like, not very fancy apartment, not fancy at all apartment, and and he's playing all the older men's parts, and as he's doing, I'm like, God, that guy is so good. Like, who is that guy? And and for each character he would do, he'd like do them a little differently.
Yeah.
And so I was like, that guy he's so. I wonder who that is. And then afterwards, Mike is like, oh, have you met Frank Oz? I was like, oh, no, I haven't. No, I'm familiar with who you are. You know.
Frank Oz gave me a really brilliant piece of advice directing. He goes, the key to this movie is the chemistry between the characters. He goes, get these people to town early, take them bowling, take them out for dinner, hang out, just spend time together. I think that's your movie. We did it.
Yeah, I think that people know Frank Oz mostly as an actor and as Yoda and all that, but obviously
Good director,
great
too.
films, yeah.
But what she's alluding to is the other night I mentioned that when Greta Gerwig read Gillian's part at
Yeah,
one of the readings,
yeah.
she didn't have any notes. She just goes, and a lot of people had like a lot of notes at all the readings. She just goes, I have no notes except spend an extraordinary amount of time thinking about how to shoot the improv. And of course I had thought about that before, but the way she said it was very ominous. I was like, yeah, I'm going to get focused on that now. And I spent a lot of time talking to Joe Anderson about how do we, our cinematographer, about how do we shoot this in a way that really feels like we're one of the improvisers instead of one of the audience members. So
you guys have an interesting question in terms of how you're going to take this out. You have the film arcade already on board,
Yeah.
with a number of sort of complicated deals in place, and how are you going to? There's some distribution interest. You could maybe sell the movie.
Yes.
So what's your idea of what you'd like to have happen?
I mean, it's really simple. Film Arcade, they've been great, and they could obviously distribute the movie. But we want to see who else wants to come in. If somebody else wants to be a partner, or, just we want to see who else. And
it's like when you live in a house, you love the house. It's got a for sale sign in the front. You're like, but also we'll live in the house.
Yeah. So that's the. I mean, so. Yeah.
And you were very emotional at
very
the
visual, very visual, so visual. You work with such images. You're such a master of imagery. So visual, Birbiglia.
We love the house, but it's for sale.
No, I'm glad you added the visual of the sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you on stage seemed very emotional the night that you showed.
It was all an act.
What was going on there?
I was putting on so that people would feel empathy with the filmmaker. I was just trying to mirror the emotions of the audience at that moment. No, I was very emotional.
You were a mess.
I was
Come on,
broken.
come on.
I told Ira all about it.
Yeah.
It was
'cause
heavy.
I couldn't make it to the opening. But yeah, like everybody was crying, right? Like everybody was.
The whole
crying.
cast was crying.
Yeah, like
It was really emotional because it's very personal to all of us. I feel like we've all lived certain elements of certain characters, and making a movie is a years long process to create a thing that's 90 minutes long,
and the movie's very emotional
and
in
the
the
movie
end.
itself is very emotional.
Yeah.
But every movie, there's an element of that if it went well and everybody was close. But in this case, it just feels like the improv team was closer.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, the theme of improv that we talk about in film, which is what's special about it is that it's never happened before and it'll never happen again, and it's true of the group of us who made this movie. And you could feel it for the few months that we all really liked each other, we liked working with each other, and we weren't complacent about the work. We were like, we have this thing and it's special and we know it can be great. We all need to focus really hard and really hold each other up to our highest standards of each other. And I feel like we went through, it was like going through a war together.
Which I guess is true of every movie, but like it just gelled in a nice way on this one.
Yeah.
Where like people felt very close, and then the fact that like friends who are actors when they've seen cuts of the film, like have gotten very emotional about the film because I feel like the film is about something that I think anybody who does creative work.
You could say Danny. You could say Danny.
Our friend Danny Strong, who's an actor and a writer, like he had a huge reaction. And director. And other acting friends, they've said this. The thing that the film's about is like, okay, you get to a certain level, and you're doing sort of okay, kind of, and then you're just like, am I ever gonna succeed? You know, like I think so many people who want to do creative work, you know, you get to a point where you're competent at the work, and then it's just like you watch other people get successful who you feel like, well, I'm just as good as them, and it's just very confusing, and you really do go through the thing that the characters in the film go through of like, well, should I quit? And I feel like I know you and Gilliam were doing an interview yesterday where the interviewer was saying where you guys are set, and you guys were both like, no, we're like we have to run at 100 miles an hour to keep where we are.
Yeah.
Like you're like a certain level, even though you're very successful.
They were saying to me and Gil, like me and Gillian Jacobs, like, you guys are successful and you're playing these unsuccessful characters, and we're like, we're successful today.
Yeah,
like this business is so fickle.
But also doing the 2-hour movie, I'm in some ways, there's a lot of challenges associated with that. There's no givens. Getting to make another one, making a successful one, getting people to come and see it. You know, I'm sort of almost surprised, that you want to do it at all. And there are other media.
Long silence. Ira always says he's never doing it again. He said it after Sleepwalk, said it after this, he'll say it before the next one and after the next one. He'll keep doing it forever.
It's just very hard. It's hard to make anything that's decent. Anybody who's on your website who tries to make things for a living, like, it's just hard to make anything that's good. I mean, even like after you get to can you even organize the money and organize the people? Then to actually make the thing so it works is just in a film. Like, it's funny, in this film I was struck even more about like how many things have to go right in every scene and in every
frame
and every sound cue and it's just like it's almost like every minute of the film is another 15 things that you could screw up on your way to making the thing.
It's nine art forms layered simultaneously is what makes it so challenging. So you got photography, you've got acting, you've got music, you've got sound design, you've got all these things. So all of them have to work in concert.
Then when you strip out, for example, the photography and the acting and all that, what you left is radio. So simple, so easy.
Check out This American Life. It's a podcast, number one podcast in America.
I'm so grateful for my day job. Seriously.
I know.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.